Let's move on to the NBA now. Incredible match early this morning in the National Basketball Association. The Brooklyn Nets stunning the LA Lakers, the best team in the Western Conference, the most informed team in the NBA, were stunned by Brooklyn yesterday night.
Absolutely, Brooklyn Nets had to break the Lakers' heart because usually when Lakers are playing against a smaller team, so to speak, teams are not doing so well. They don't take it seriously. But then on the night, it was all about the Nets and Anthony Davis. He was supposed to actually nick in one last 3 pointers, but then when he missed it because he had someone right behind him actually screaming. You know who that is, right?
Who's that? Tell me.
You don't know?
I don't know.
KD.
Yeah.
KD was behind and 80 was trying to take a shot, and at the end of the day, well, he just couldn't. He missed that. But then let's take a look at a result from the night, right?
We'll come back to that game
absolutely
in a bit now. Those are the results for you. Cecilia, starting off with the matchup between the Celtics, that's Boston, and Indiana Pacers. And it was Indiana losing, Boston winning 114-111. Jason Tatum, 30 points on the night. And the Boston Celtics have clinched the playoff spot with that victory. As
for the sixth consecutive year, they've been able to do that. Gordon Hayward also added 27 points and 10 rebounds for them.
To say that again, let's move on to the Brooklyn Nets and the Lakers. That's our featured match for the show. 104-102, like Cecilia said. Anthony Davis had a chance to win that particular game with a wide open three, but he missed it because KD was right behind him, yapping in his ears. We'll talk more about that game shortly. The Timberwolves and the Rockets. This was a bit of a return to form for Houston, Cecilia's team. James Harden was in mesmerizing form, as well as Russell Westbrook. They won 117-111 over the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah. James Harden, 37 points. Russell Westbrook, 27
there
points.
You go.
So snapping that 4-game ski they were on.
Fantastic. And for the Rockets, they need to just try and build, go on another streak. And let's see how they can finish off. If they can finish off the season very, very strong. Let's move on to the matchup between the Mavericks and the Spurs. Ended 119-109 in favor of San Antonio. It was another game where Luka Doncic played very well. But
38 points wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough. Ended up on the losing side. And for the San Antonio Spurs, it was LaMarcus Aldridge, 24 points, 9 of them in a very pivotal late-game stretch. San Antonio came from behind to beat Dallas to snap a 2-game losing streak. Elsewhere, the Clippers rebounded nicely from their loss against their city rivals to Thrones. The Warriors 131-107. That was a beat down. That was a rout, annihilation, thrashing, however you want to call it. Fantastic game for the LA Clippers. It was Kawhi Leonard leading the way with a game-high 23 points in 25 minutes. Didn't need to play the fourth quarter again, along with the rest of the starting 5 for the Clippers.
Yeah, it's just a piece here. Maybe I wish maybe Steph Curry had started. He didn't play this game. He was sidelined by flu.
He's got the flu.
So he's got the flu. So they struggled. I mean, they all struggled. Modaho was supposed to be 1 of 9 from the field, 0 of 7 from 3-point range for 3 minutes in 26 minutes. I mean, I'm talking about Michael Mulder. That's the guy, 25-year-old guard that was supposed to, step in for.
That's too much pressure. That's way too much pressure.
So he practically missed everything.
On the young man's
of course, it was
shoulder.
just too much. Yeah,
too bad.
Too much.
All right, then the Warriors, of course, cannot wait for the season
to end.
Be over. Where they can get back the full complement.
Living in a nightmare right now.
Exactly.
Just want to wake up from the dream.
Yes.
Just come to reality. But this is reality, actually.
Yeah, this is reality. And Steph Curry is expected to be back on Thursday from the flu. And I don't think that's going to make much
any
difference. Everything is geared towards next season now for the Golden State Warriors. Let's move on to other games. The Magic 120-115 over the Memphis Grizzlies. Terrence Ross, 24 points, including 5 3-pointers. Played a very crucial role in that win for Orlando, the Phoenix Suns lost against the Portland Trail Blazers 105-121. Damian Lillard, 25 points, 7 assists on the night for Portland. Trevor Ariza also registered a season high of 22 points, as well as 5 3-pointers. The Portland Trail Blazers won for just the 4th time in the past 12 games. They need to do a lot better than this if they want to make it into the postseason.
I'm not sure they're going to do that, but it's going to be difficult for them.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Still have the Suns
All the
and
games.
The Knicks and the Wizards. The Knicks and the Wizards. Okay, the Wizards had a good one here, benefited from another big day from Bradley Beal. His performance was really key in this one. He had a 40 point, surpassing the 25-plus points for the second time in 23 games. And he did this just like this. And the Cavs and the Bulls, that ended in favor of the Chicago Bulls, 108-103. Now, before we take a look at our top game for the day, let's just quickly take a look at those. Talk more, talk about the top game for the day, the Lakers. All right. I think I skipped it. Okay, maybe we'll just go ahead with this.
Our top performers on the night.
Bradley Beal, 39, 3, and 7. And of course, with this performance, his team, they were able to win on the night. James Harden, of course, had 37, 4, and 7, and that's why he's here leading his team to another victory. Okay, who is next on this? LeBron James, a double-double on the night, but then it wasn't enough for the Lakers to get their win. 29, 12, and 9, just one short off a triple-double. And of course, look at Doncic also on the losing side, 38, 7, and 8. This wasn't enough for the Mavs to get the result that they needed on the night. They lost to San Antonio Spurs. Okay, that's it for the top
let's talk about the game.
Absolutely.
The game.
Just skip it.
Yeah,
the big game, the Lakers and the Nets. This is a game you wouldn't want to take as your own pick, but then because of the result, so we have to pick this one. Anthony Davis missing that 3-pointers at the buzzer in the Lakers loss. But other guys actually contributed. Let's not just dwell on what he did. Spencer, that's the guy. Man, he was good. 23 points. He hits the tie-breaking jumper with just 28.3 seconds remaining.
Right.
And, of course, we were able to upstage the Lakers at Staples Center. I mean, it's not looking good. 4-game winning streak all over.
Karis LeVert as well.
Also
had a fantastic game.
Absolutely.
For the Brooklyn Nets. It's been a very eventful 72 hours thereabout for the Brooklyn Nets because recall the coach was sacked not long ago, and a lot of people thought this was coming at the wrong time, but they've shown great character to go to the Staples Center to be there. I mean, that was the shot.
Yeah, I mean, supposed to have just nicked this one, but then you have so many players, Nets, just behind him actually screaming. And, so at the end of the day, he just couldn't hold on. KD was one of those guys.
Basketball, NBA, for example.
Stay focused.
Yeah, you've got to stay focused. NBA, particularly, look how close those fans are to the courts. Those guys, like, really close to the court. They actually, they can heckle players. They can say all sorts to distract players. You get to see that most times when a player is on the free throw line. But you can see it in situations like this as well. Anthony Davis with a chance to win the game for the Lakers, wide open 3. But couldn't find the net, and that's how the Lakers crumbled, and that's how the cookie crumbled for the LA Lakers. But the LA Lakers, I don't think they'll be licking their wounds for too long. We've seen them bounce back almost immediately after losing a game. I expect them to do just that. King James, very, very desolate there at the end of the game.
They were thinking they would close gap on the Milwaukee Bucks, who's actually on a slump right now. They're stuck on 53-12 for the season. Lakers 49-14. Okay.
Still several games to be played. I'm not too sure the Lakers are chasing the Bucks. I think they're just,
sometimes just want to finish your season in the very best way you can. Especially when you have opportunity to do that. All right.
But I don't think they'll be too disappointed if at the end of the season they don't have the best record. They're back in the playoffs.
Of course, they're back in the playoffs. That's what is important. Since 2013.
There you go. So,
for a long time.
That's
enough. They should just celebrate that.
But that's not enough. Celebrating that. They want to win the championship, and that's why they put together this roster for LeBron James, who's 35 and still playing incredible basketball, but we know he doesn't have a lot of years left, and they want to win now, right now. That's why they,
we'll see if he can do
that's why they traded Jordan. That's why they traded the future for the present.
Traded the future for the present. Yeah. Okay, let's leave the NBA and come home. A countdown to the National Sports Festival in Edo State and the touchdown in Bayelsa. And of course, was received as usual by dignitaries. The deputy governor of Bayelsa State was the one that actually led. That was the one that received the touch when it was brought into Bayelsa State. And once this gets to state, you just know that what they're looking for, it's for how the athletes understand and know the look. It's really close. It's 12 days to go now. It's starting really soon. And the athletes have been preparing. And you know what happened in Bayelsa State when it comes to, politically, where the governor had to be removed, and of course, Supreme Court, removed. Another governor is coming in, and so because of that, they're having a lot of issues right now. Not really issues per se, but then they're having a situation whereby when you have a change in leadership, usually affects sports, because knowing that in Nigeria, for instance, sports and governance is almost the same, because it's the same. The same. You don't have an independent body that just actually in charge of it. It's usually the government that are in charge of. So Bayelsa State receives the torch of unity ahead of the National Sports Festival in Edo State. Let's get a reaction, what the deputy governor had to say, and also one of the athletes who is not really happy that the preparations hasn't been going well in the state.
So the sports festival is intended, first of all, to bring unity among the states and athletes, and secondly, to hunt for budding talents that represent the country at international and national levels. So the importance of the National Sports Festival cannot be overscored, because it is an venue for us to hunt talents that represent our country at various games, both the African Games, the Olympics, and other activities that affect the sports general world in general. So we are very happy, and Bayelsa is set to go. No doubt, we are just about less than a month old, but that doesn't mean anytime you wake up, it's your money. So we are woken up at this time, and so it's our money. And once you wake up in the morning, you get set for the day's job. So we are set. Bayelsa is coming. I want to put the other states on notice that we are coming, and we are coming strong. The fact that we are just coming, that doesn't mean that we will not be preparing. We have our comparative advantage, and we know that those areas, nobody will come near us. I want to urge our athletes to put on your best, because for every gold medal you win, there's going to be a rewarding ransom reward. Not just a ransom reward, a rewarding ransom reward.
Though there is no encouragement, I won't lie, but by the grace of God, we are going to try our best. We're already in the preparatory stage, and right now we're going to the competitive stage, and we've done the polishing, and by the grace of God, we just hope for the best.
Okay, it's 134 days to Tokyo 2020 Olympics. It's getting closer and closer, but another thing is we're looking at is the fact that with this go-ahead, just knowing that across the world, most global sporting events have been grounded, suspended, postponed, cancelled, and all that. So about Olympics, the IOC and the organizers of the Tokyo Games in Japan are still saying that, look, it's going to go ahead, and 24th, that's the day that's going to be the opening ceremony. Until we get any further announcements or clarification from them, we know that the Olympics is 134 days from now. Okay.
It is what it is. As things stand now, the Olympics that will go ahead on. Opening ceremony will be on July the 24th. And so we're going to continue our own countdown, our build-up to the games, and talking about Nigerian athletes. And we're about to talk about a particular athlete, a wrestler, to be precise, who other people believe has what it takes to perhaps get on the podium for Nigeria. I'm talking about no other than Odwayo Ade Kuroye, the African wrestling champion, the world #1 in our category in the world. And There's a lot of pressure on her to perform. A couple of weeks ago, she received a training grant under the Adopted Athletes Initiative. She seems to be getting all the support now to go out there and represent Nigeria well and perhaps win Nigeria's first wrestling medal at the Olympics. It's a lot of pressure, Cecilia. I don't know how she's dealing with it because you spoke with her recently. What kind of vibe did you get from her? Did you get a confident vibe? Like, I'm going there to actually, and I'm very, very confident I can win a medal.
Absolutely. She says the confidence she had, it's even higher than what she had when she was preparing for Rio because she didn't have the opportunity, she didn't have the time, the chance, and of course, the money to go for as much tournament as she would have wanted and all. But this time around, she's got the support that she needed. And of course, at the weekend, when I caught up with her, it was leading sports events, you know, when they were celebrating International Women's Day. You know, she talked about the fact that, look, she's been preparing, and the support she also received from ladies in sports. You know, they were giving some checks, you know, about 350,000 naira. Not really much, but then, you know, it's something, you know.
It all adds up.
Absolutely, everything together. And so she actually mapped out events she wants to compete in. And here she is talking about those events she actually wants to compete in. And this will actually, she will have more fights in her to be able to go into Tokyo 2020.
Yeah, I still need to compete outside Nigeria. I have almost like 3 to 4 competitions, and I still need to go to training camps outside Nigeria to train with other stars as well. I think Poland ranking series is one of the tournaments. I need to go to Finland camp, and I'm going to US for strength training as well.
Yeah, that's how she's really all of them out. COVID-19 permitting, she should be able to go for all these competitions. She says after all this, she will be ready to go for Tokyo 2020. Another athlete we'll talk about quickly is Joy Udo Gabriel. She hasn't qualified yet, but then she's preparing so hard. She has had 2 tournaments already this year, and so she wants to go for more to be able to secure that qualification. And the confidence is high.
Exactly. She has a bit of time on her side now to still grab that ticket, and we're all hoping she does that because she's a very you know, talented athlete, still very young, national 100 meters champion as well. So it'll be a massive loss if she doesn't make it to the Olympics, and that's why she deserves all the support to go on and represent the country. But we need to go on a break now, though. When we come back, we'll continue our countdown to the Olympics. We get to listen to Joy Udo Gabriel tell us how she's preparing and hoping to qualify for Tokyo 2020.